Hello there, my Aries gang. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald, bringing you your monthly reading for December 2021. As I step into your energy here, first and foremost, what I'm feeling for you is that you are going to have a month where it's important for you to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of the unknown as you're entering into this new year of 2022, okay? So as we end the month, I feel like you're going to be rising to the occasion, so to speak, okay? So there's going to be some changes coming in for you. I feel like it's going to be a time for you to embrace being bold, to speak things that are on your mind, like the Aries that you are, okay? So as always, as we get started here, I use the traditional Rider-Waite deck. That's my go-to deck. First through the fourth, what we have for you, Aries, Sun, and Rising, we have the Four of Pentacles with the Four of Swords. So really feeling with this, that this is going to be, the beginning of the month is going to be a period where you might be reflecting on a time that you may have just come out of where you were feeling just a little bit unstable. So you're really trying to ground yourself, really get back to this stability that you really crave, right? So this could be a week where you're feeling really grounded, really stable, really trying to recuperate. Now, I feel as though you could be reflecting on things, feeling like, man, I did a really good job on things. And that's good. I feel like that's a good thing. You're always trying to strategize and to, see where, like, gosh, I did really good on that. This is where I feel like maybe next time I come across this, I could probably improve on things. I do feel as though you could be, clinging to things that are near and dear to your heart with that Four of Pentacles, right? You see that pentacle very near and dear to this person's heart. So you could be maybe reminiscing about things that have happened in the past, and really that could be good. They could be things that have happened in the past that maybe bring up a little bit of heartache, right? That have you guarding your heart as well. So when I think about this, I feel like this is really important here to just bring this up, because it's a bit of a reminder for us that when you have these things happening, this clinging to things from the past as we process things as well, if there's things that need to be released, now would be a time to do so, because you don't want to be clinging to things from the past that do not serve you. So if there's some unpleasant things, if there's a conversation that needs to be had so that you can apologize, do so now so that you can let things go, because you don't want to be blocking your new opportunities from coming in, because when you cling to things from the past, it can be to a detriment as well, and it can block things as you guard your heart a little bit too much, right? And so, I really feel like, this week, the beginning of this month, Aries, it really could bring in a lot of fire energy, right? So you could be, having a lot of new ideas coming in for you as you're trying to gather your thoughts about things. You might want to jot things down. I do feel like, you might have epiphanies, right? Where you are coming to the understanding that you're seeing things come to fruition that you once had hoped for, and now you're trying to come up with new plans. Like, what is it that I want now? Where can I go from here? And so, I really think that you'll come to an understanding that you do have realization of hopes and dreams. And so it's kind of like you're going to be sitting in some gratitude with this, as well as you're trying to rest, like, gosh, like, I am so grateful. I feel, like it's a bit surreal. Like, it's almost like you can't believe, like, gosh, I came so far. I've got this far, and I'm so grateful. Like, I never thought probably, that I could have ever gotten this far. And so just sitting in some gratitude, extending gratitude for that, and then also, get out your game plan, because it's time to think of, all of the things that you can imagine and hope for next. And so that's a beautiful energy to begin the month of December for you, Aries. Moving into the 5th through the 11th, we have the Ace of Wands with the Temperance card. Now these two also came out together. A lot of things are coming out together. I feel like your energy is pretty loose. A lot of things flowing pretty eloquently here for you. I feel like, again, so new ideas, feeling definitely with that Ace of Wands, new ideas coming in. But I do feel with this as well, brings in a bit of a flare, right? And so when I think about a flare, I feel like a roadside flare where it like dies down pretty quickly. So make sure that you're going with the flow with that, because I feel like energy, timelines, things are shifting very rapidly right now. I do feel like if you were to follow through on these new ideas as they're coming in for you, I feel like there is a potential here for like all rise, all fall, right? So I feel like it's a collective benefit. So as you follow through on those things, it's not just going to benefit you, it's going to be for the benefit of others as well. So as you're doing well and you're following through on these, taking inspired actions, it's going to be benefiting you, but it's going to be benefiting brothers and sisters worldwide. So I feel like that's a beautiful energy, and always good to score some karma points as well. So I feel also too, when this comes in, this has a potential to bring in a bit of, emotional instability, right? Like our tempers can flare by, right? So, your emotions, you might feel a little fired up here and there. You might have a tendency to lose your cool, but just keep those emotions in check, because it has the potential here to destroy things, because as you all rise, then you all fall as well. So if you are going to react based on your emotions, it has the potential to destroy things. So if you were lashing out verbally, getting your aggression out, or reacting in those emotional spaces, it has a tendency to maybe ruin a relationship or a friendship that you have with somebody. So just be mindful of that, to make sure that you are thinking before you act, thinking before you speak, and giving yourself grace and giving others grace as well, because that could really help at this point in time, and really in those moments when you're counting, so that you can calm yourself down, look for the good, right? There's a reminder here to look for the good, look for the redeeming qualities of the person that you might be upset with, or look for the redeeming qualities of the situation at hand. Like, what's the benefit that you have? What's the really good things, right? The positive qualities that are presenting, because it's going to help you to find that grace. It's going to help you to go with the flow. There's fluidity in being, graceful in those moments, because everything is in a constant state of change at this point. So moving into the 12th through the 18th, we have the Star card with the Seven of Wands, with the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel as though there is somebody around you this week, Aries, that could possibly be telling some lies, right? Where you're really going to have to be standing your ground, holding your ground. Okay? Now I feel like somebody, with that person that's telling lies, you're going to have to be defending your honor when you're standing your ground. Okay? I feel as though this is that point in time where you're going to be like well spoken, because I feel like at this point, this is where you're going to tell it like it is, and you're really going to be putting somebody in their place. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be where your temper is going to flare and things are going to come crashing down and you're going to be, reacting from an emotional state. What I do feel is that you're going to be very well spoken about this, and it's spoken like a true Aries. You're going to be bold about it. You're going to be honest. You're going to be straightforward. And I do feel as though this is something that's like long overdue. This person needs to hear this. And I do feel that if you stay in this point where you are being honest and straightforward and well-meaning, and coming from a point of, this is what I need, and using your I statements and that kind of thing, and saying how you feel, I do feel that this person will receive that pretty well. And I do feel like this is like a tipping point or a breaking point, some point that can kind of like catapult you into the next stages of development in terms of this friendship or relationship. Okay? or this business partnership, whatever it is, okay? But I feel as though, you know, this, as it catapults you into that next stage, because there's like a mutual agreement or a mutual respect, a mutual understanding that you guys can come to. But I feel as that catapults you into that next level, like you realize, you both come to this realization that this can be like everything that you've ever dreamed of, right? Like there's a lot of potential here for building a beautiful, beautiful foundation going forward. So just be mindful. You know, I'm getting like this task versus burden, right? Where if you are taking care of a task or one thing at a time, or addressing one task at a time, or addressing one issue at a time, it tends to be a little bit less of a burden rather than allowing things to like build up and then just blowing up about like everything, because then things can be blown out of proportion, things can be irreparable, right? So then that's where it becomes that burden, that's where it becomes too much to handle, right? So make sure that you're addressing things as they arise and not like everything all at once, because then somebody's gonna like shut down. They're gonna be like, whoa, I guess I can't fix this. Whoa, I guess I'm, you know, this is too much, right? Or like shut down emotionally, back off, and it just creates a big, really difficult dynamic to deal with. So, okay. Moving into the 19th through the 25th, we have 4 cards this week. We have the Knight of Cups with the High Priestess, with the King of Swords, cutting things out. I love that one. And the 4 of Wands. Okay, so with this one, I'm really hearing this song. I'm not sure who even sings it, honestly, but it's the lyrics go like, I want to knock, knock, knock on wood, right? But it's about like a love that you have where you feel really good about it and you don't want it to go away, and so you want to knock on wood, and it's almost like a superstitious type of thing where you just want to knock on wood to prevent like bad things from happening, right? So I feel as though coming into the 19th through the 25th, like there's something happening, something transpiring where you're just feeling really good. You have a good feeling about things, and you just don't want anything to, like, it's so good, or you're feeling so good about it that you just feeling like this could be too good to be true, and just to prevent things from bad from happening, maybe I better go knock on wood, right? So I feel like with this, it's important to be mindful of sometimes the saying, you know, the old adage that sometimes if it feels too good to be true, it could be, or it is, right? And so it's almost like this feeling of like this delusion of grandeur, right? Like where if you feel like you're a superstar, then you know, you feel like you're a superstar and nobody can argue with you about it. You are definitely a superstar, right? But so with this, it's important to be mindful of, yes, it's great to feel really good about things, right? But it's important to be mindful of the facts, right? We want to stick to the facts here. Really take a hard look at like all of the evidence that's being provided to you. Because I feel as though the word like desperation is also kind of coming up, right? Like we're so desperate to want things to work out, or to want things to go our way, or to turn out a certain way, right? And so then we kind of overlook certain things, or we see it a certain way, right, through the lens of our own perspective. And so make sure that you are looking at all the little details this week. It's important also to not get caught off guard, right? Don't get so caught up in what's happening around you that you are not maintaining your routine, you're not staying grounded, right? So make sure this week especially that you are paying attention, you know what is happening, you know why things are happening, you're looking at all the facts, you're looking at all the details, you're reading all the fine print, doing all the things, and then also make sure that you're not straying from your routine, and make sure you're doing your self-care. Make sure you're still, doing all the things that you need to do to keep yourself in a good space mentally and emotionally. So make sure you're sleeping, make sure you're eating well, make sure you're exercising, all the things that you need to do, because if you aren't doing those things, I feel like this week would be a week that you could get caught off guard, okay? Where things could kind of go awry very easily, all right? Moving into the 26th through the 31st, I know it was kind of confusing and I don't know all the details around that, but I'm just relaying the messages that I got from Spirit. So 26th through the 31st, we have the 9 of Swords. So with this, Aries, I feel as though you've got some like restlessness, some I'm up at night, maybe crying, sad, anxious. I feel as though you are just in general feeling maybe exhausted, maybe where you're feeling like, I have not only exhausted myself physically, but I have exhausted myself maybe financially. You've exhausted all of your resources in terms of not just monetarily, but maybe you've exhausted all of your supports. You've just really been through the ringer. And I feel as though this is a time for you to understand that this is pivotal in your point of change, right? Where you can no longer cling to that past, right? That we had at the beginning of the month, where you're kind of clinging to things and it's keeping you from changing, right? When we cling to things from the past, it's because we're fearful. We don't want to embrace change. And change can be scary. But if we're not embracing that change, then we get stagnant. Energy gets stagnant. Things are no longer happening for us, right? We can tend to be in that victim mode where things are happening to us and not for us. So it's really important here to be mindful as you're moving forward of how you see things, what you are doing and your perspective of it, right? Try not to overwhelm yourself with things. Try to use your positive affirmations. Try to journal for yourself, and try to make sure that you're giving yourself choices and options, and know that you're a beautiful co-creator here with this universe to create beautiful things in your life. And so I feel like it's important here this week for you, Aries, to tap into this spirit animal of the dragon, which brings in this beautiful power and strength in overcoming these obstacles, right? It has this mystical type energy, right? This divine, protective, wonderful energy. And so channel that, right? Start turning that strength that you know that you have, that you're now tapping into with that dragon. Start channeling that into more courage, into change for the better, okay? And so we know that when you're in that space where you tend to clam up and close up and isolate, all those things, we are closing ourselves off to change. We are closing ourselves off to opportunities. So this is now a time to let go of things from the past. This is your rise up. This is your challenge here, right? This is the challenge. We want you to start rising up. Okay, so rally around, mold yourself into, shape yourself into who it is, what it is that you want to be, okay? You already know how. I know that it might be really overwhelming. It might seem a little scary. You might say, what? I have no idea what I want. I have no idea where I want to go. But you have some inkling, you have some idea of what you want, even if it's something super small. Start with that, okay? Because here's the thing, you do already know, even if you, on a logic sense or on an ego sense, on the surface level sense, say, I really don't know. Your intuition will always know the way, and it will show you the way if you're paying attention. So in those moments of quiet, in those moments of peace, and in those moments where you're outside taking a walk, how do you feel? What do you feel pulled to do? What do you feel called to do? What do you see? How is Spirit showing up for you? Start paying attention to your body when you ask a question. How does it feel when it's a yes? How does it feel when it's a no? Start tuning into all of those things, because our intuition will always be guiding us into a certain direction. We just have to pay attention. And so it will be guiding you. Your intuition will trump anything that's happening externally. We just have to quiet the noise to tune in, okay? Now, overall advice here, Aries, is 2 of Swords with the Strength card, with the Death card. Now, I know that looks a little bit scary, but again, this is really about making the choice to make the change, rising to the occasion, okay? Not running from the fear, not, deciding that this is where you want to stay, right? Because when we stay somewhere, we get stuck somewhere that, it's not fueling us, it's not nourishing us, we don't feel fulfilled. Okay, so make the choice to make the change today. All right, even if it's just little choices, little changes. All right, we don't want to stunt our growth. Our growth game is strong, right? And when we have our growth game on, we start to, feel more joy. And, I feel compelled to tell you, I read something on Facebook today too. It was a story about a glow stick and how when you're broken, that's when you glow. So things have to happen to us in order for us to be able to, come back brighter and stronger and light the way for others, and all of these beautiful things. And so that's just not necessarily like a bad thing for things to happen. It's how we're taking it in stride, right? Look for the lesson in things and understand that it can come in with ease for us. It doesn't have to, the world doesn't have to crumble around us as things happen, right? We can still be peaceful and centered and grounded, and we can still find joy every day, okay? So beautiful reading here for you, Aries. I do so hope that this resonates for you. As always, if you know another Aries that's near and dear to your heart and you feel inclined to share, please do so that they can benefit from hearing the message as well. And I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. If you're interested in your own reading, because not all general readings can resonate for everybody, I would love to be able to do that for you. You can hit me up at the square site pinned at the bottom of this page, at the description box here on the YouTube, or at the top on the Facebook if you're catching me on the Facebook. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please don't hesitate to do so that you're in the know of all of the new and amazing content. All right, thank you so much. Have a great day.